So time for a little update. The condenser and the radiator are in. I had to get a new one annoyingly, and that was a fail because I ordered one and then they cancelled the order the day it was meant to arrive annoyingly. Anyway, new condenser, new radiator, wasn't too expensive. 2 slimline fans I think cost more than the 2 rads, so they're in. The wiring has been sorted, it's just not in place yet. I need to find somewhere to put the relays, but I'm going to worry about pipework first. The pipework is done for air conditioning and for coolant and for power steering, so that's all piped in now. A new dryer is also sat in there, all new seals as well. Just need a little clamp, hopefully a lad around the corner, Brad's going to help me with that, so shout out to him. And top hose is also done, heat exchanger hoses are done, this hose is done. The matrix hose down to the back is done. That had a little adaptation on it. We've put a little bleed point here. We have put all the clips in place for the coolant lines. We've left the banjos loose because this is going to have to come off to make our exhaust on Monday in a few days' time. What is left to do, I've just taken some measurements to get our induction system ready. I'm going to bring the breather system over here, through this gap here, and tuck it into the induction. And we're going for 85mm down to 55, so I'm going to have to order a couple of parts for that and see if Alex can weld them up. Tomorrow will be the front mounted intercooler, so we're going to fit that on as close as we can to the fans without rubbing, and we're going to have to make an adaptation to send 2 pipes through that gap there, take a slot out there and just widen that. And then we're also going to make a bracket down here, move the horn higher up there or wherever, doesn't matter where that goes. I'm going to make the battery tray come to here. Shout out to Bash who's done this, and it was a great idea because I want to keep my boot the way it is, so the battery will go down in here, and at some point I'll probably make some terminals up top so that I can jump start or access the battery terminals without having to take the bumper off. So that's the plan there. That's it for today really. It's getting a bit dark and a bit cold, so I'm going to go and have some lunch. The only things I haven't done on the coolant system is to put the coolant bottle here, but that would be a bit pointless because I've got all the fuel system to add and all the wiring to pop in, so I've got to take it in steps, so we'll do that in due time. So as I say, tomorrow front mounted intercooler fitment, and start looking at what pipes I need and what pipes I need to make, and we'll get the induction system ordered as well. There we go. Thanks folks, little update. Okay, so here we are. We're in the barn tonight. The weather is terrible, and we are T-minus, I'm going to do my calculations, 72 hours till Alex comes to build the exhaust, which we lack. But he has some serious mad welding skills, so I'm hoping that, this is Alex from Black Smoke Performance, that he can help me TIG up some hard boost pipes as well, which would be really cool. Yeah, that'd be amazing. Always wanted hard boost pipes, you know, as in limited amount of connections, and it just looks better and saves me money on Michelors. So anyway, we need to get this mounted tonight. That's my little goal tonight. We got this in the other day, that's fine. So what we've done is, first thing, we're putting the battery down here, we've mentioned, so we can't take boost pipes around there. I'd like to kind of keep that as the design. What the effect means is the intercooler is off-center. Now my OCD, oh my goodness, seriously, overdrive, thought about all sorts of other different ways I could take it, but it means like no headlight or moving the battery to the boot, which I haven't got time for and haven't got the money to move the cables. Maybe I'll centralise it at a later point and we can take the boost pipes round, but for now this is the way it's going to be. So this is where we're at, we're just levelling it off, the car is level, I've checked that, and that's about where it's going to be. So underneath it's just about level with where I'm going to be putting a plate. So we're going to take a plate under here, from the bottom here, and we're going to bolt that on there, and then just 2 smaller plates at the front, something not too thick. Got some plate over there. The top is more just to steady it, and obviously the underside is going to take the weight, so we've got some decent 6mm plates to go under there, and then we're going to get it as tight as we can to the fans without obviously touching or making rub, because if you have gaps in between radiators and intercoolers, then as the air goes through, it has somewhere else to escape, and it will always go for a low pressure zone, like here or that side. So the closer you can get them, then you'll reduce that. Obviously ducting will help as well. So check out the racetrack. So I do work on that and trying to get the rad and the cooler closer, because I flip the fans on the other side, which you haven't got room for in this engine bay, unfortunately. And then you can get them really tucked in close, add some ducting, and you get lovely airflow through all radiators you've got. But we can't do that today. So what we're going to do now is measure up for 2 plates, fit them, measure up for 2 plates, fit them, and then that'll be it for tonight. And then we'll get on to boost piping on Monday, if time permits, because the exhaust obviously is priority. And that's everything. That was a long intro. To sum up, intercooler, big one, yeah, boosty boost. Okay, this is where we're at. I've just got one bracket there and just a steadying one there. So what I've done is I actually used some brackets from the 2.1. So I used these before I moved the intercooler back a little bit. But the difference I've made is I've just welded on a nut on the back, just to make it easier for getting in and fitment. And then I'm just drilling a couple of holes along the bottom here. I've lined it up with the intercooler already, and then drill a hole through. Just a top tip, if you're doing that, is to stick a plate behind it, because there is a loom that runs along here. So 1, you can't run very long bolts. These are short little ones, as you can see. And 2, you want to put a plate behind it so that when you're drilling through, you don't go straight through your loom. Piggy top tip. Intercooler soon. Okay then, folks, that's where it's at right now. So 2 little supporting brackets. I say supporting, they sort of stop top movement, which is good. Slight bit of movement in it, but that's fine, I'm happy with that. And then our 2 brackets underneath holding the weight. So that's pretty good. And we've just got clearance down the back. The right hand fan is slightly closer than the left hand one because of the shape of the condenser. Not much we can do about that. And then we've got a nice gap here where our 2 pipes are going on. I don't know if I mentioned that in the other video, but I slotted out a little bit. You can see that. And then just knocked back this the piece of metal here that's joining. There's only a couple of what's the word? Welds. Spot welds. Tired, man. Spot welds on there. If I'm really bothered, I could probably just put a couple more welds down the seam, but it's plenty strong enough. It's only really supporting the bracket at the bottom there. And then it's a simple boost route, really. So I'm probably going to take the top one straight to there, and then the lower one up to there. There probably is a way to do a twin pass to put hot air in the bottom and cool out the top. I don't really know. I can't imagine it makes much difference, to be honest, with the speed the air moving through it and the velocity. So boost to the top one, and the bottom one will come out, down the bottom, run along there, and then straight up to there, all being well, because big air filter's going there. So if I can run it along the bottom there, somehow, yeah, aircon pipes. Either run it along there and then probably just follow that power steering pipe route. Can you see that? So from down there, straight up here, and then a little 90 up to a little 45 and down like that. Should be pretty simple, to be honest. But that's it for tonight. It is pretty late, and I'm trying to stay positive, and by the way of doing that is do a little job, complete it, and then move on and leave it, rather than think about doing a billion jobs. So tomorrow is fuel system and the battery tray. So that's it for tonight, folks. Thanks for watching. If this is the end of an episode, please consider subscribing and see the other videos. If it's not, then let's slide across to the next one. Yay! Woohoo! Now I can go in and have a cup of tea. Just to add, that's not going to fit. So that's going to need chopping, but again, I'll do that tomorrow. That's not a necessity to get the other pipes done. Yes, for the road, well, I could just put another plate there. Have done that before. But I can do that at a later date. So that's first. Boosty pipes, make boost, make power, then worry about going on the road. That's the right way around. Okay, folks, so we're just doing a little mod here. So this is an 1800 bar fuel pressure rail sensor. This is the standard 1500 one, sorry, I should say, 2 litre HDI. Now, if we get some light on this, let's see if I can turn the light on the camera. There we go. You can just see that pin compared to that pin is different. Now, you could use the 1.6 one. You know, you have to switch the wires anyway, 3 to 1. Yeah, the third one for the first and the first one for the third. This is basically what we're going to have to do here, but also change the little plug. So we've got a little genuine Bosch plug as well. However, the Bosch sensor, 1800 one from the one we're using, which is Astra 1.6, load of other stuff, Astra 1.7, sorry, is a bit more reliable. So we're going to go with that and it wasn't very expensive at all. It was like 12 quid or something. So we're going to go with that one. We just need to put the plug on. So pins 1, 2, 3 correspond the same here. However, you can notice on the plugs they do say 1, 2, 3. We've confirmed with some wiring diagrams that they do correspond, but we just got to make sure we put them in the right order. I don't know if the camera will show. There we go. But notice it's 1, middle one's 2, left one's 3. And on this, which is even smaller writing, right camera, show me how good you are. Maybe you'd already seen it and I didn't. So can you see that? It says 1 on the left and 3 on the right. So the middle one's the same, but the other two have to watch out. There's no soldering involved. Generally speaking, soldering the engine bay isn't a great idea. I've experienced this, but I kind of had known this already. People rabble on about it. So we're using this plug joins and their crimp joins. Solder with the heat cycles eventually gets brittle and breaks, which is pretty unreliable and won't help with sensor lines. So crimping will be the way. That was quite boring, really. This is quite an important moment, though, because I can't fit this. No, I can fit this. I can't fit this without the plug, because I can't get to the plug because of the fuel filter housing. I can't fit the fuel filter housing, therefore, because it's in the way. I can't get on with the front-mounted intercooler, the pipework, until the fuel filter housing is in the way, until this is in the way. So we've been waiting for this plug to arrive, which then arrived at the wrong address. Sometimes the smallest things have a massive influence. They really do. So, we're going to get on with that now. So there we have it. That's that little sort of fuel rail sensor extension that's already on the HDI loom. Not really sure why they did that, whether they just made it and then realised, whoops, we've made it too short. Anyway, it's kind of useful because you can take that off the loom and then do it. So there's the original, chopped. There's the new one. Let's go plug that baby in. Winning! Hey folks, so this is a cold Sunday night. We are ready. We've moved all the kit in here, all the kit I can move myself, plus a few other bits in here ready for Pogson to arrive in the morning. That's our World King from Black Smoke Performance. So tomorrow is exhaust system, which is still rather lacking. Tomorrow also will hopefully be some intake system, i.e. finishing the boost pipes where we can, where it doesn't obviously need silicone or joiners. We're going to patch weld that pipe so it's one solid pipe, and then hopefully get some pipe work coming up here and up to here. This is why I need to do fuel filter, which is now done. Now there's a little bit of pipe work. I'm not fully convinced on the position of this. I might just extend this, which goes to the leak-off pipe to the top, runs along there. It doesn't look wonderful. This is the bit of the HDI I hate. I hate this mess here. But in the long run, it will disappear. To a similar idea that Darren's got on his page. That's Darren Lobb, with his 16-valve build. I can't stand this mess. So it's all going to get under the boot at one point, and then it'll just be 2 pipes here and the return. So it'll be lovely and tidy and neat and wonderful. So that's my plan eventually, just to tidy the engine bay up a bit. But anyway, doesn't matter. That's here for now. So we've now got the sensor in the back there, which I showed you. Now you can see why I did the wiring. It's right back there. And then that plug comes out here now. Then we've got the temperature sensor. I'm going to have to get a plug to there somehow, but that won't be so difficult, I don't think. I've got a little extender here. And then there's basically just fuel pipes. I've got a few clips to put in place, but now that's in place, you can see how quite close that is, the clearance for this. So once we get this pipe on, it'll be nice. Well, it'll be very close, and then we know where we need to go with the pipe work, missing the filter housing here. So that's for tomorrow then. So while he's tigging away over there, I'll be working out the routing and then giving him more things to do. We've also got our boost takeoff there. That's the old EGR flange with a plate welded on it from behind, so you can't see my ugly welds. And then we've just PTFE'd the little brass on there. So that'll come off to a little bracket here somewhere, which will hold our map sensor, and then off that again, off into the boost gauge inside. Because boosty boost, need to know what boosty boost I'm running. So that's it for tonight. Job done.